Well, now it's time for my favorite segment of the show. This is where we predict the winners of each game. Jared, I'm going to tell you a little something. We had a 2-week break from the show. I went 8-0 last week, just a little something for you. So keep that in mind as we make our predictions this week. I know you can't say the same thing, but knows all, sees all, remember?
Well, that's what you are, supposedly. I only missed one game. I don't feel too bad.
Yeah,
if I only missed one, I'm all right.
Yeah, as long as you can feel good about yourself.
Enough.
All right, Timpanogos at LEHI girls soccer. We've already talked about this. You're taking LEHI. I'm going to take Timpanogos.
You're going with Timpanogos.
Yeah.
I got to go with LEHI. I think that they've been so close. This is the time they break through. Timpanogos is a young team. They're prone to make a few mistakes. LEHI gets the win.
All right.
Well, let's stick on Tuesday with girls soccer. Here's the big game we were talking about this week in girls soccer. OREM at Springville. Who do you have?
OREM works for me. Every year you seem to take Springville in this game, and I take OREM, and every year I'm right, Jared. I'm going to stay with OREM.
Well, in this game, I think OREM's definitely going to come out and play their type of game. I think they know they have to play hard against a very good Springville team. That's going to make the difference. The Tigers get the win. Okay.
OREM and Mountain View. We're going to go to volleyball this time. OREM and Mountain View. This is a toss-up for me, Jared. I'm going to let you go first.
Well, I'm going to take OREM in this game. Even though OREM lost to Provo early on, I think OREM's very, very talented. Mountain View's undefeated in that region, but I question a little bit who they played against. I'm going to take OREM in this crosstown rivalry.
I'm glad you did, because I was leaning towards Mountain View, and as soon as you said that made up my mind. I'm going to take Mountain View.
Oh, you're going with Mountain View just because I took OREM?
Well, usually that's the way it works. If you pick some team, I know that the other team's more likely to win.
Well, we'll see if that works this week in volleyball. Speaking of volleyball, let's move to Region 4. LEHI at American Fork. Exciting game.
Yeah, I've told you I've been a fan of LEHI volleyball. I'm going to continue with the Pioneers. I like LEHI in this one.
You know, I've picked LEHI very high in my rankings, but I think this is going to be American Fork's game. I think that their offense against LEHI's defense is a very interesting combination. I think American Fork at home gets the win.
Okay, let's go to football. This is a big game this week. American Fork at Spanish Fork. This is big for Spanish. It's hard, it'd be hard to go down 0-2 in that region. But American Fork's coming off a huge win. I like American Fork in this one, Jared. I think the rushing game, Lone Peak had some issues at running back. Their back got 135 yards rushing against Spanish. I see the same thing happening. American Fork's ground game is just too strong.
It's just too strong. The Cavemen get this win. There's no way. I just don't think Spanish Fork can stop them. All right, sticking with football, we've got 3 more football games. This one, Springville at Mountain View. Who do you have?
Well, I like Mountain View. I know Springville is your choice to make the run here in the second half, so I'm sure you'll take Springville. But Mountain View, look at what this team's done, Jared. If there's one team that everybody's overlooked, it's been Mountain View. I mean, they handled Provo last week. Other than the TIMPView, what are you going to say? What do you mean,
Because
that
Provo
wasn't
isn't playing that well.
Win?
Well, Provo isn't playing that well.
34-7?
Well, Mountain View's the 3rd best team in that region, but it's not that strong of a region this year.
They might be the 2nd best team in that region.
Well, it's possible. We'll see when we get to that
point.
point.
You take Springville, I'll take Mountain View.
No, I'm taking Mountain View. Yeah. Mountain View's going to win this game. They're the 3rd best team in the region. Just because Springville's the 4th best, they're not going to beat them.
Give Mountain View some credit.
No, they're great. They're the 3rd best team in the region. I just gave them the credit.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's move on to Pleasant Grove at Timpanogos, also on Friday. In football, who do you have?
Well, I like Timpanogos, and I'll tell you why. Timpanogos is going to score 35 points. I don't think Pleasant Grove can score with Timpanogos, and this is going to be a shootout.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a shootout because I think Pleasant Grove's going to be able to move the ball on the ground, and I think they're just going to move the chains. They're not going to let Christian Stewart and the Timpanogos offense get on the field. We talked about how Timpanogos' run defense isn't that good. Pleasant Grove is just going to move the ball up and down the field on the ground and not allow Timpanogos to even get that ball that many times. It won't be a shootout. Pleasant Grove wins a lower scoring game.
Lower scoring game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 21-17, something like that.
Oh,
I don't think Timpanogos will get enough opportunities.
No, Timpanogos is going to win this game. I like something like 38-35. High to mid 30s, Jared. Timpanogos wins. The offense, when they get the ball, are going to score.
Okay, last game, OREM at TIMPVIEW. This is the big one in Region 7. Who do you have?
Well, I like TIMPView, and that's not going to come as a surprise to you. And the reason why is it's an offense-defense matchup. OREM's offense isn't good enough to score with TIMPView, bottom line.
Well, and the truth of the matter is we gave OREM the blueprint to win, but they have to execute it perfectly. And this is a high school team. I've seen very few high school teams play perfect games. I don't think it's going to happen this time. TIMPView wins the game.
Well, give me a score and I'll give you a score.
Well, I think the final is going to be 31-10 for TIMPView. I think TIMPView wins pretty handily.
I like 35-14
Okay.
TIMPView. We're both
Similar.
in the same
Yeah, I just don't
range.
think Orem's going to play a perfect game well enough to win that contest. All right, well, that's all we have time for this week. We'll be back again next week to discuss all of the Utah Valley High School sports action.